Hi, today I will be showing you how to create model versions of the musical instruments drum, piano, and trumpet out of Play-Doh, or other modeling clay-like materials. All you'll need is Play-Doh, a toothpick, or other object similar to that, like a pencil or pen, and that's it. The reason for making Play-Doh instruments is that it will improve your range of skills. It can be fun, and it'll give you something to pass the time with. So first I'm going to show you how to make a drum. First we're going to take a decent amount of Play-Doh and we're going to roll it into a sphere. Once you have your sphere, you want to roll it to one side just for a little while so that it becomes a bit of a cylinder, but not too much. And then you're going to want to take it and smush it down lengthwise so that it's like a fat marshmallow. Once you have that, try and make it as circular as you can, and then you're going to take a little bit more Play-Doh. You're then going to roll it out on a table or between your hands. It's your choice, but you want to get this fairly thin. Once you think you have it thin enough, you're going to want to put it around the outside of the cylinder, and I didn't get it quite far enough, so I'm going to do it a little more. But once you do have it far enough, you're going to put it outside your cylinder and then connect it by just pinching a little. Once it's connected, you have your top rim done, and we're just kind of going to repeat the same thing for the bottom. And then we are going to attach it, but this time we're going to attach it on the bottom. So you just wrap it around the bottom and pinch to connect. If it breaks apart, that's okay, just kind of smush it back together. So I didn't make the first one quite long enough, so I'm just kind of gonna smush it into place. And so now you have a top and bottom rim. I'm gonna flip mine because my bottom rim looks better than my top. So now that's my top. But yeah. So next, we are going to take just really small amounts of Play-Doh and just roll it out into very small little lines. Once you have that, you want them fairly small. So you're going to take one of those and you're going to put it along the side. You're going to continue doing this all the way around the outside until they're about that far apart. So I'm almost halfway done, and you're just going to keep doing this, try and get them pretty even all the way around the outside. Once you have them all the way around the outside, you're just going to take two of the little squiggles, or of the little lines, and you're going to crisscross them on one side so that it looks like an X in between two. And then you're done with the main drum. Now, making drumsticks is pretty easy. You're just going to take two small amounts of Play-Doh, roll them out on the table like this, and then once you have those, or I'm just going to do it in one because it's a little easier, you roll it out into fairly long strips, and then you just break it off. And then you want a little bit of difference in it, but not a whole lot. And that's one drumstick. And then we're going to roll out our second. And that's two drumsticks. So now you have two drumsticks and a drum. And that's that. So next we're going to be making a piano. Now this one's a little bit more detailed, so this is where you're going to use the toothpick. But you're going to get a pretty decent amount of Play-Doh, and you just kind of want to just make it into as best of a ball as you can. So all of the cracks I'm just pinching and then pushing it in to make it a little more even and connected. So now we have a circle. We're going to roll it one direction to make it into more of a cylinder. Again, just pinching and pushing those cracks. And then you continue rolling it out until you have a pretty decent sized cylinder. Try and make the ends as flat as you can with your fingers. And then you're just going to push it down as hard as you can so that it gets fairly thin, but not too thin, and into a rectangular shape. Then just straighten out the sides with your fingers. Next, you're going to take your toothpick or whatever you're using, pen or pencil, and you're just going to push down little keys to make the piano keys. And you want a good amount of these, but not too many, and don't make them too far apart. So I'd say that's about good. And then you're going to want to outline your entire, all of your keys so that you have the keyboard part. And then you're going to want to put buttons up here. So I recommend making a little circle for the power button, and then maybe some smaller buttons for different settings. So once you have a bunch of smaller buttons, it's starting to look a lot like a piano, and now you just want to take whatever you're using to detail and sink all of the keys down a little bit, and then roll them over so that they're all pretty level. And then if they get destroyed a little, you want to remake them so that they look nice. And yeah, that's how you make a piano. Accordions are pretty easy. You just want to create the same kind of sphere shape and make it into a cylinder, similar to the piano. But this time, don't flatten it quite as much. You want to make it as rectangular, as much of a rectangular prism as you can. So just kind of squish it on each side until it gets pretty long and is still a relatively square on the side. Then you're going to want to create with your tool just little lines in it, like so. And that's where the accordion is going to bend. So just continue making them all the way around. And then once you have those, you have all of the places where your accordion is going to bend. Try and make sure they go all the way around. Then on the sides, one side of an accordion has piano keys, so you're going to make it the same way we made the piano keys. And then just sink it down a little bit. And then you have your piano side. And you're going to want to make a little strap, so just kind of stab through if you can. You don't really have to do this, but it looks a little better. And then on this side, there's a bunch of buttons, so we're going to create little tiny holes. Just a couple of them on 3 of the sides. So now you have your accordion, and you can pretend to play it, I guess. Thank you for learning to make Play-Doh instruments with me, and I hope it brings you some kind of entertainment or it passes the time for you in the future.